Like you could
like
actually,
emo stuff.
like you could actually put like.
Who makes them? Is it like the company makes them and then like? Oh, can you? Is it like Snapchat where you can upload your
Is it
own?
the puppy face
I'll show you
thing?
an example.
Take a picture of me. You did. Oh, so there's like, what is that? Is that?
Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we're not gonna get that.
I mean, again, maybe if there's stuff that you want, try to ask Disney or try to ask the creators, but it's probably not just gonna happen. Well, it's a question.
Is there a chance you might be able to do more future merchandise, like in buttons, stickers, or ladle pins and stuff?
I mean,
Possibly for the more later characters we're seeing in season 4, maybe?
I mean, I'm really hoping for like a Bed Bath exclusive, Bed Bath and Beyond exclusive towel or something.
Meat blanket. I want to use a
meat blanket.
yeah, I mean, we would love to see all of those things. It's sort of not in our control, but my hope is that Star will be one of those things that's almost like, did you guys know that Nightmare Before Christmas didn't have anything when it came out? I know now it's everywhere, but when it first came out, it didn't have anything. So I'm hoping that the show will have some longevity, and it'll be something people still like, and we'll talk about for years to come. And maybe there'll be merchandise everywhere when they reboot us in 5 years, because that's the way we do it.
Disney Plus, make sure my voice stays the same.
I think you'll be alright.
Yeah.
I'm still saying we do a spin-off of Adult Marco.
I mean, this didn't happen, whatever. But I was pitching out a side-scroller game of Marco battling all the heckapoos. Adult Marco, so you get to like live his adventure like in a video game.
That would have been awesome.
Obviously, it didn't happen. But if anybody wants to make that, I know some of y'all are very good. I did play that Gravity Falls weird dating game. That's very well done. It's very well done.
Yeah.
Alright, anyone else?
Right here, little star.
In the episode Bon Bon, the birthday clown, you know when Bon Bon was like in the hospital bed and the portrait right above it, was that actually the mystery shack?
Oh wait, say it again. Bon Bon? No, I can hear, but I just want to make sure I understand. So in Bon Bon, you saw the mystery shack?
Like, you know, like when Bon Bon, like in the beginning, like the flashback, when he's like in the hospital bed, there's like a painting right above the bed. Is that the mystery shack?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to look at that again. Not that I know of, but we did have a lot of artists on the show who also worked on Gravity Falls, and there were some little things that got snuck in here and there. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm actually not sure though. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Actually, I got a question. What's your favorite Easter egg in the series, then, Christine?
Oh, Easter egg?
Yeah. We all love Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I feel like we've done a lot, and I don't know if I can think of any off the top of my head.
Mine would be like Marco having a boba in his hand.
Oh yeah. Kelly's room. She had the Gravity Falls cipher on there.
Oh
Kelly's
yeah.
room. That's another one.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot. God, we did so many seasons. Honestly, guys, sometimes with the show, like when you're show running, you're dealing with like so many episodes at the same time that are all in different stages of being complete, and yeah, it gets a little crazy.
You need another wash through, huh?
Well, and sometimes, oh my gosh, like, and I've told this story before, and I don't want to say anything inappropriate, but I did have an artist on my show write some inappropriate things on some of the gravestones and Bon Bon the birthday clown. And they ended up in a ton of scenes in final animation, and I was like, oh my gosh, because of course then we have to fix it before it goes on air, and there's this whole pain in the butt. So like, I kind of don't love it when people do those type of things, but just because like, you know, we're not gonna have Mo Lester on our gravestone. And of course, and just so you guys know too, the way that we design stuff is it'll be the artist will do like the layout of the whole graveyard, you know, maybe this side of it and maybe that side of it. But then actually our studios in Korea do all the individual shots, and we don't really have a lot of control over where they're going to put the characters. And of course, they stage all the big Bon Bon scenes in front of the Mo Lester. So it was in so many shots. No, but anyway, yeah. Sometimes so there's stuff. I don't know if I even know every single thing because we've had so many artists work.
If you can find a screenshot of that, she'll probably be able to.
Yeah, why don't you tweet it at me? I'll let you know. I'll find out which artist did it, and we'll ask them.
Blame them.
Oh boy, no, it's Gravity Falls Shack. I think that's fine. Hi.
Hi. Do you have any advice for like TV show creators? Because I'm thinking of starting my own.
Very
I think
cool.
Like fantasy kind of mystery. So I'm gonna need some advice.
Are you in college?
No.
Are you in high school?
Yeah.
Well, that's So when I was in high school and I wanted to make a show, because I actually wanted to make a show since I was like in grade school, right? It was like my big goal since I was a little kid. So a couple of things to think about in high school. Do you want to write, or do you want to draw, or?
I kind of want to do both.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, then be drawing every single day. Take some figure drawing classes. You gotta do, at some point I was probably doing like 20 hours of figure drawing a week, like do a lot of drawing, and draw every single day, and try to write your own stories. Like if you're doing fan fiction stuff, I think that's really cool, but if you want to make your own stuff, I would try to write your own characters and your own world and your own stories. And then I would be looking into, you don't have to go to some big art school like CalArts. I did, and it was helpful. I think it's not helpful. But I would be just really trying to write and push your own ideas, and definitely like take some classes with people that are in the industry. The Animation Guild has some really good ones. I went to community college for 2 years. It was awesome. I did a bunch of art classes at community college. I'm trying to think what else, like high school.
Classes.
Yeah, I mean, writing, very important.
And get a real job, you bum! I'm just kidding.
No, but I think that that's awesome. I think that the thing is you gotta be really determined, and you gotta keep working at it, because, like my story, pitching star in 2007, and it doesn't become a show until like 2015. Like, it's just a very long process.
Don't be discouraged. Right?
Don't be discouraged. And I told this story a lot too. So when I was at CalArts, I did the 4 years, spent all this money, worked really hard. I was the producer every year, so I felt like very cool. But then I got out of school and I did not have a job. I did not have an apprenticeship. I didn't land anything from the job fair. I had no job for an entire year, and I was in all this debt, and I moved back in with my parents, and I was like freaking out. And I started doing tests, because you have to do tests to get like a job in animation, like the portfolio. I guess it's important. Nobody really cares or looks at it. What everybody does on these shows is they make you take a test for character design or storyboards or like whatever. And I did 14 tests before I got my first job, and they take a long time. Each test usually takes an entire week of work. So I was doing a ton of tests, but I'm glad I kept up with it, because then once I landed my first job, it was really easy to get the next jobs, and it all sort of ultimately helped me get to, making the show.
Just keep on the grind, right?
Yeah, I think if you're determined, you gotta keep doing it, because it sucked. I mean, when I was doing those 14 tests and not getting a job, and I was really feeling down,
Someone
but I
has to do it, so
kept
might as well
at
be
it.
you.
Yeah.
And also, at least you're in the right state.
Yes, it has to be
Yeah.
in Los Angeles.
Yes. All right. Any other questions? Right there in the back.
If you got to do like any spin-off, like what character would you choose?
Ooh, there's so many spin-offs that would be super fun. I don't know. You'd probably want to do the adult Marco.
I think it would be really fun. I think it would be really fun to do like 15 years down the road. Like see where
Oh god, do like the Harry
A
Potter. They're
reunion episode.
see like where they end up. Maybe not that. Maybe like 10 years.
Okay.
You know? And maybe like there's like okay, if my Starco shipping fantasy. It's maybe 10 years down the road. There's a little other Marco Jr. running around that we follow, that the show's kind of about maybe her or him now, and we get to see Marco as a dad, like a young dad. Safe dad! Safe dad! Safe dad! And versus the forces of evil. I like it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that would be awesome. It would be so cool to do like a future where the characters now type of thing. I mean, the adult Marco thing is super cool. I think Kelly's a really fun character. I'd love to like do a deep dive into like her and what's her world and everything. I don't know. There's so many things you can do with the show. I love the spells. I always thought it'd be cool to do some shorts with the spells or something, because they can really have their own. They do have their own universe.
Spider with a top hat is one of my favorites.
I actually think Spider with the Top Hat is like a separate show. Like if we were Garfield and Friends, it's the Ant Friends.
Yeah.
But
Star versus Force Evil comic book.
We did for a minute, and they didn't let us do the whole series, which was a bummer. But I would love to finish those. We wrote all 8 of them, and they're really good. They were written by one of our writers, Zach Marcus, on the show, and Devin Taylor, who does amazing artwork, is doing the drawings, and the first 4 issues are really fun, and they keep saying maybe we'll finish them or make different ones. I don't know. I'd love to keep it alive in comics. It'd be fun. Yeah.
Anyone else? Oh, right there in the back.
Question. You guys don't appear in the Southeast. My sister would love to see you guys. She's in North Carolina.
It's a comic convention?
No, just anywhere, like in Orlando,
anywhere.
Because she's like, you guys have been in New York and out here, and she's wondering if you're going to be in the Southeast.
I mean, I would absolutely love to. It kind of has to do more with the places inviting us and, and all that stuff. But not as of now. I mean, at least I don't have any. Maybe Adam's got a full day.
We're coming to Florida! I'm just kidding. No, but, like, anytime you guys want us at events, it always, like, find that con on Twitter or Instagram and just bother them. It really is. It's, them hearing about it.
We can do it with the Comic Con now.
Yes.
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 Yeah, bug them on Twitter.
Yeah, because I think a lot of those places, if they see the need, like if they see the place, they're like, oh, there's a lot of fans in this area, and, because we like doing stuff. We like free trips.
We
and
like
events.
doing stuff.
Oh, we like hanging out and meeting people. So
Yeah, a
awesome.
free trip to Alhambra today.
Hey. Well, I didn't have to pay for the gas, but hey.
That's true. But we got free boba.
We have one last question. Let's go with right there.
So my question for you is how much thought did you put into the voice actor for Globgore? Only because for me, because I'm Hispanic, I actually grew up watching Jaime Camil on novelas and stuff like that. So it's kind of seeing that inclusion is really, really amazing for me. So it's I don't know, just curious.
Yeah, no, he was a great find. I think my, I worked with voice casting, I think it was a Rachel suggestion, Rachel Galber, a voice casting person. And she suggested him, but I knew that I wanted somebody who had an accent, somebody that would be surprising as Globgore, because I think the expectation is he would sound like this big, mean monster, So I wanted to have somebody that felt like he could work with Eclipse and that they would have some chemistry, all that was really important to me. And I think she found she's, usually how it works is then, I'll kind of talk to her about what I want, and then she'll bring me a list of people and clips of them, and then I pick somebody or we have them try out. It's generally how it works. But yeah, he was awesome. Yeah.
Since I'm sorry, I was the one that actually made this a little bit late. I don't want to keep you guys too long. We'll roll right into the signing pretty quick. I'm going to get the table, but while we're getting that ready, go ahead and ask a couple more questions. I'll get you ready, and then whoever has the low number, I'll start calling you to the back and getting you your pops ready.
All right, we got 2 more questions. So right there, fellow with the beard.
Are you going to do the Boba event again at Comic-Con?
Probably not, because we didn't get invited to Comic-Con this year, so...
Bug them!
Bug them, yeah, I don't know. We didn't get
Twitter, guys, Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been, Heather and Veronica they helped me plan that Boba event every year. And I've been getting texts what the heck's up? Are we going to do it again this year? And because we're not necessarily we're not taking the show to Comic-Con, we don't really know yet. I don't know. I don't personally know if I'm going to be at Comic-Con this year. Maybe I will be. I have a ticket. I just don't know if I'm going to actually go. This is totally first world statement, but I've never had to book my own hotel there. And so
It's a nightmare.
I don't know. Yeah, I know that it's a nightmare, and I honestly just don't know if I want to deal with it. So I don't know. If I end up coming to Comic-Con, then there'll probably be a photo meetup. So it's not ruled out. I just don't know yet if
I
it's
think it's
gonna
the same
happen.
goes for me too. I just don't think if something's come up yet, I don't think anything's coming up. Or they'll be hey, whatever. But I mean, I would love to.
Yeah.
Maybe the wand will be out. Let's sign some wand. Do whatever. But we gotta get invited.
So TBD. I'll be talking about it obviously on socials and stuff like that if it
We
happens.
got one last one. Right there in the red. Yeah.
Oh.
You.
Okay.
You. Yeah.
Oh, no?
You.
In the red.
You. No, the other one. Yep, you.
Alright,
You.
alright,
No, you.
okay.
In the back. Yeah, you. No, the other one.
Alright, I'm going to ask my question now. So, when I looked at Star's, both room uniforms, our first one and our second one, the purple and the yellow were opposite colors on the color wheel, and I was wondering if that was intentional, since Moon's was, her final one was blue. I was wondering if her first one was orange or something like that.
Oh, that's interesting. Gosh, that would be a fun project to like draw the queens like Liberty forms, you know, and really to see everybody's butterfly forms because we haven't seen all the queens. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I haven't really thought about that, but that's kind of a cool idea. Or maybe everybody's purple when they're Liberty. That might make sense. I don't know. We haven't like dived into that, but that would be a fun thing to solve.
Fan art.
Yeah, fan art.
I got you. I'm ready.
Yeah, I think we're still. Can we do more questions while they're set up? Or are they done?
What about the way back?
Yeah, let's get some
on the tiptoes.
Yeah, right there, way back there.
So you mentioned that you have writers and boarders in your process. So are your writers, do they necessarily draw, or do they not, or sort of? Because I can't draw, but I love cartoons.
Hey, we always need good writers in cartoons. So different shows organize things differently, and the way that we've done it on Star vs. Forces of Evil is we write outlines. So like I'm very involved in the outline process with a couple of writers. So for most of the show, it was my story editor John Infantino, and then like Amy Higgins and Todd Casey, and then me and Dominic and Aaron and my supervising producers. We would all kind of like go and like write outlines and stuff. So then from the outline, which are like 2 to 3 pages, then the board artist would go and like write all the dialogue and like really spend like 6 weeks just boarding the episodes on like a team. So like on the show, we give the writing credit to the storyboard artist because they're doing a lot of the heavy lifting with that. But I would say part of what has made Star, I think, a really special show is like it's super collaborative. So a lot of us will like kind of all work together, and maybe we'll bring in the story editor to look at something. Or like the supervising producers would do a lot of rewriting and a lot of stuff in like the editing room, and we would all kind of work together. So I think it kind of keeps keeping it fresh.
I think we're going to start the signing. Let's give our guests a very big hand. Give us your social medias for people who want to follow you and all that.
Does anyone not follow either of us on Instagram? Okay.
There you go.
That's okay. Don't make a social media just to follow us. Social media is probably very bad for everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna all find it out later.
Then we're all like have PTSD from being on Twitter or something. Yeah, I know, from reading mean tweets. I feel so small in this chair. Tiny.
Like, bring me food. Bring me food.